Good morning, sports fans. Welcome to a Friday. It's November 22nd, 7:23 in the morning here in Western Iowa. Speaking of sports fans, our picture of the day from Thursday Night Football. Yeah, Cleveland, Ohio. The second half got a lot of snow. They were probably 2 inch an hour. Well, an inch an hour at least, because they ended up with almost 2 inches on the ground, it looks like, by the end of the game. Cleveland won. Congratulations. Unlikely winner over the Pittsburgh Steelers, but it was a very exciting game. And snow games are my favorite, just the best. All right, time for our weather spotlight. As we're taking a long look now, this was issued yesterday. So this is our update on our winter coming up. Meteorological winter starts December 1st and ends at the end of the February. And this is what the National Weather Service is saying. Your below average temperatures most likely northwest and along the Canadian border. So northern plains, upper Midwest, northwest, and above average temperatures south and east. Kind of typical for La Nina, especially with the warmer temperatures south and the cooler temperatures northwest. And this is typical La Nina too for the northwest, above average precipitation and Great Lakes as well. And dry in the south. And there you see Alaska as well thrown in there. So, this is not to say that there won't be cold outbreaks in the south, because there will. This is your overall average. And it may not come exactly true. But these are your best chances for below average overall and above average overall and below average overall and above average overall. All right. Hazards for today. It's cold in the southeast. We're getting freeze watches and freeze warnings. Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas, Louisiana. Also into North Carolina, South Carolina, freeze warnings. Snow in the mountains in North Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, into Pennsylvania and New York, where we have winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories all issued throughout this whole area. Then we go up into the northern plains of Montana, and we're looking at winter storm watches and also winter weather advisories here. So more snow. Still rocking in Northern California with those flood watches and flood warnings, and also wind issues across the Pacific Northwest into California, and winter storm warnings for the Sierra Nevada. All right, let's take a look real quick at our GFS model. And here we do see, we'll make sure we're on the current. Here's our big storm in the west. Here's our big storm in the east. We have snow, Pennsylvania, New York, even parts of New England, getting into New Jersey a little bit, and a little patch of snow here in North Carolina into Tennessee and Kentucky. And then here's your heavy rain in Northern California as we go through the day today. Here's your low wobbling around in the east, spreading some rain and snow there. Our heavy rain in California along the coast, heavy snow in the mountains, snow moving inland as well. As we get into what is this Saturday now, so this is tomorrow at noon Central Time. Snow in Idaho into Montana, snow in the California mountains, rain in the Oregon coast. Very windy and cold for the northeast, some lake effect snow here. A little bit on the eastern lakes, a little bit of snow in Canada trying to get into the northern plains. And then we see some snow moving across Nevada into Utah as we get into Sunday morning and then Sunday afternoon. A little bit of snow here in the Rockies, moving into the plains a little bit, South Dakota, western Nebraska as well. Some snow up here in the Pacific Northwest and spotty showers along the coast of rain. This gets us into Monday morning, 6 a.m. What's this? A little bit of light snow maybe into northwestern Iowa. I'm a little south of that, but we'll see. Getting close and getting cold. We also have some snow up there in Washington State, some rain along the Oregon coast. This gets us into Monday night at midnight. Little snowstorm busting out in the Great Lakes, especially Michigan. Rain along a cold front here. And then we see rain and snow, especially from Northern California, heavy at times. And then our low in the Great Lakes lifts into Canada. with some rain in New England on the warm side, but some snow back on the Great Lakes, some lake effect snows here. This gets us to Tuesday the 26th, a couple days before Thanksgiving. We see some snow here in the Intermountain West and continuing with some heavy rain and snow for California. This moves into the Rockies. Wednesday, the busiest travel day of the year, 6 a.m. Four Corners with some showers of rain or snow depending on where you are. A little bit of rain busting out here in Missouri. This gets us to noon on the busiest travel day of the year. Some snow in there in Colorado. This turns into snow into Missouri and Illinois, moving into Indiana. This was what I was hoping would be snow for us. Although I have friends that are expecting family and stuff. So if it doesn't snow in Iowa, I'll be fine. Because my friends want to see their family. But we have some snow here in Colorado as well. And some of the models do have some snow into Iowa, but we'll just have to see how it all plays out. But this is the latest GFS. And so we see that area of snow on the north side of the system, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, into Missouri. This gets us to Thanksgiving morning, 3 a.m., with some showers of rain, heavy at times, maybe some rumbles of thunder from Tennessee into Kentucky, parts of southern Ohio, maybe like Cincinnati, into West Virginia, and even parts of the South. And then we get past, so this is Thanksgiving Day. We see some pretty heavy snows busting out to enjoy Pennsylvania and New York, because everyone should be settled in, right? Watching football and eating some turkey. As we go through the day, Thanksgiving looks like some good snows here for New York State, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, into Maine. Cold front trailing with some showers and storms. And then Black Friday, turning colder for much of the nation as we go. And then I'll just zoom into the future. We see another big storm for the Great Lakes with some cold air behind that. This gets us into the 1st of December. That's Sunday. And then behind that, we see more cold air. And then a pretty big system here for the southeast with some rain. Another area of rain or some snow for the northern plains moving into the Midwest and the Great Lakes. And then a big storm moving along the East Coast. Will this be our nor'easter? A nor'easter? I don't know. We'll have to wait. This is way into the future, December 8th. All right, 24-hour temperature change. Back to present time. It's cooler southeast, cooler in much of the plains, but warmer as you head into the northern plains and into the Rockies, warmer for the Great Lakes this morning. Your anomalous temperatures today, tomorrow, and the next day. So you see things warming up as we go through time for through the weekend for the plains. So this is Sunday. So this is today, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, warming up in the plains. Look at that batch of cold air, though, coming into Montana. Look out. That's coming our way. So today, the east is cool, southeast as well. Tomorrow, that moderates. Cold air coming in from the north as the plains warm up ahead of that, but it'll be getting colder. Surface for today, we see that cold front through the southeast. That's why we have those freeze warnings. We see our heavy snow in the mountains from Tennessee, West Virginia, and heavier snow getting into Pennsylvania, New York. And rain back in the Great Lakes as it's warmed up there a little bit. And then our heavy rain for Northern California, rain or snow for the Pacific Northwest otherwise. Highs today, 40s here in Iowa, 40s and 30s for the Northeast, barely into the 50s for lots of the Southeast. And then you get into Texas, it's warm, especially South Texas, mid-70s, Southern Arizona, 50s, seasonable for the Willamette Valley, cooler inland, which is also seasonable, but you see that cold air along the Canadian border, low 20s for North Dakota. Here we go. Cold tomorrow morning, 7. I don't know exactly where that is. I don't know where that is in North Dakota, but single digits peaking across the Canadian border with teens and 20s getting down into even Nebraska. We'll have 20s here where I live. It's low 20s right now, 23 this morning. And then warmer as you head south, of course. And then for the surface tomorrow, Big storm still in the Pacific Northwest with rain or snow, depending on where you are. The heavy snow, Oregon, Idaho. Little patch of freezing rain maybe in Montana. Still kind of a mess in the Northeast, windy and cold with some rain or snow. Highs tomorrow in the Northeast in the 30s and 40s with some wind. Also 40s all the way through the Great Lakes here in the Midwest as well, but 20s for highs for North Dakota and the northern part of Montana, and then 70s for highs into Texas, even some 80s down there, down south. Near upper 70s for Phoenix as well. That's why the snowbirds are there. All right, precipitation-wise for the next 2 days, heaviest in the west, and you see quite a bit, maybe 1.5 inches or so along the Oregon coast, maybe approaching 2 inches. You get into the Sierra Nevada, liquid equivalent of 3 to 4 inches, so that's going to be 3 to 4 feet of snow. We'll show you that in a second. Also, rain in the east and some heavy snow there in West Virginia, for example. So here is your snow, West Virginia, for example. Oh, just a couple feet of snow. Sierra Nevada, 2 to 3 feet of snow. Idaho getting a lot of snow too, north of Boise. I kind of make fun of Idaho. I don't know if I'm making fun of it, but it's just an observation. It's kind of cute. It's a smiley face where the Snake River Valley is. Staying void of snow, but plenty of snow in the mountains. And even northern Montana getting some snow. As we round out the weekend, surface on Sunday, things quiet down in the northeast, but things start to get a little more active in the northern Rockies, northern plains with that cold air coming in. And we see rain chances spreading all the way into southern California. Your highs on Sunday, still warm Texas, warming up for the southeast, cool in the northeast with 40s and 30s. But we see those 20s invading North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, and a little cooler for the Pacific Northwest as well. Still toasty for southern Arizona. Let's jump ahead to Thanksgiving Day. And you see things get a lot cooler from Sunday to Thanksgiving. So all of next week will be trending cooler for much of the country. So Thanksgiving Day is going to be below freezing, Iowa north, Nebraska, South Dakota border north, parts of the Rockies, parts of northern Maine, so for below freezing for highs. And then you get a lot of 40s on this map all the way down into Kansas and all the way into Kentucky. But jumping to the 60s, Tennessee, 60s, Lubbock, Texas. I think if that cold front's a little early, you'll be in the 50s, Lubbock, but we'll see. I know your local weather guy, John, is saying 50s for Thanksgiving Day. He's probably right. Mid-40s for the Willamette Valley as well. Then we get into Thanksgiving snow depth at noon. Maybe a little bit here in Iowa, up to 1 inch, perhaps. Probably north of me, but we'll see if this comes exactly true. As the main storm is expected to go south, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana. So we see the greater amounts there from Missouri into Illinois, 3 to 4 inches. So wherever that low tracks, if it tracks a little further north, we might get in on that. If it tracks a little further south, maybe they'll miss out. But if you're traveling for Thanksgiving, this is kind of what to keep in mind. Now, Black Friday gets even colder as that cold front does move through Texas. And we're talking low 50s for Lubbock, Texas, if that. As you're lining up to get those great deals on your web browser. Do people stand in line anymore for those deals and get in fights at Walmart? I don't know. All right, so this is Black Friday. We'll definitely be getting colder as we get past Thanksgiving. In fact, your 8 to 14 day outlook is cold for the country, November 29 through December 5. Just the whole country below average except for southern Florida and for parts of Alaska and Hawaii. Precipitation-wise, I mean, that's snow, northern plains, Rockies. So, if we start getting more snowpack, it's easier for that cold air when it drops south to not moderate as much. And so it helps with our cold outbreaks as we kind of setting ourselves up for winter. And then you see where the above and below average precipitation is. One last map, I wanted to take a look at this. This is experimental, but here's your, looks like some good chance of some lake effect snows and heavy lake effect snows as we get past Thanksgiving. So day after Thanksgiving through December 2nd, could see heavy lake effect snows along the Great Lakes. All right, that's your forecast through Thanksgiving and beyond. Even a quick look at what winter might look like. We'll see. And we'll keep you posted, of course. Thanks for tuning in. The Weather Mike. We'll see you tomorrow.